Greetings everyone, today we are going to learn about loop control statements. The break statement passes the control out of the loop and the iteration ends. Look at this flow chart. Here, the code runs a block of instructions. It then checks a condition. If true, it repeats the instructions. If false, it skips the loop and moves to the next set of instructions, then ends. Let's do a program using break. Here, firstly initializes the correct password as cybersquare and repeatedly prompts the user to enter a password using input. If the entered password matches cybersquare, it prints login success and ends the program. If the entered password is incorrect, it displays incorrect password and try again, and continues prompting the user for input until the correct password is entered. Suppose you want to lock the user out after 3 unsuccessful attempts, you can change the code in the following way. It starts by defining the correct password as cybersquare and initializing variables for guess and count, and then enters a while true. It prompts the user to enter a password. If the entered password matches the correct password, it prints login success and exits the loop. If the password is incorrect, it prints incorrect password and try again. It increments the count by 1 and checks if the count has reached 3. If the count exceeds 2, it prints a message indicating this and ends the program by breaking out of the loop. Here, you can see the possible output. We attempt to provide false passwords initially, and subsequently we provide the right ones. Here, you can observe that it displays 3 unsuccessful attempts. Next, we can aim to provide the correct output. Now, the login has been successful. Continue statement is used within loops to skip the rest of the current iteration and jump to the next iteration. It allows you to skip specific parts of the loop's body based on certain conditions without exiting the loop entirely. This flowchart helps a program decide what to do. It asks a question. If the answer is yes, it does something specific. If no, it asks another question. It can repeat instructions if needed until it reaches the final step. Suppose you want to write a program to print the vowels in user input, you can use the continue statement. Firstly, asks the user to type in a word. Once the word is entered, the program goes through each letter in that word, one by one. For each letter, it checks if it's a vowel, that's the letters A, E, I, O, or U. If a letter is a vowel, it gets printed out. If a letter is not a vowel, then the continue statement executed and jumps to the next iteration. The last print line is indented inside the else block, which means it will never be reached because the continue statement jumps to beginning of the loop. Here you can see the output. The pass statement is used as a placeholder for future code. Suppose you have a student mark list that you want to analyze. The requirement is that if the mark is less than 50%, you don't have to do anything. Else you need to print congratulations. Mark list in percentage equals 50, 90, 110, 30, 45, 67, 89. This line makes a list of marks. For mark in mark list in percentage, this line says, for each mark in the list. Loop will iterate through each element in the mark list in percentage list. If a mark 50, this line checks if the mark is less than 50. Pass, it means do nothing if the mark is less than 50. Else, if the mark is 50 or more. Then prints congratulations for each mark that's 50 or above. Thank you.